Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rico Tensai, and I like to speak my mind. Today, let's talk about books. Now, how did I get into becoming a book guy? Honestly, I just asked myself, well, what do I want to learn? So then the first thing I wanted to learn was just about peace. It's very random, but it's just like something that's always been on my mind. And the first book I got was The Art of Peace. And it's just a bunch of quotes about mindful and being, how to like focus onto that. And it's just like, from there, it goes to, I think after that, it went to Be Water, My Friend. That was also a very dope read. And then after that, it's just, most of my books, they're all just how to be like more creative. It went from being how to obtain peace to then how to be creative. When you do the whole like scrolling, you'll get inspired by like one thing for like 5 seconds. But then after that, you're just like, okay, back to scrolling again. It's just like, or, you save, sometimes, you'll save that post and then you somehow go back to it every time you feel down. I feel like it's better just to get a book so that at least you can go back to it even easier. Because that's the thing, like, nowadays with our phones and how, like, look, I understand TikTok is back. I'm not going to say TikTok is bad, because I guess people can argue that TikTok can be a good thing, because you can learn some stuff from TikTok. For example, like, new recipes, or you could find new, like, hidden gems of, like, certain, whenever you go on a hike or go travel to, like, a different state or a different country. Those are cool, I get it, but then there are things that, like, I don't really need to know, or, like, certain clips that I don't need to see. Like, with books, at least I can always go back and reread some of them, and I know where to look for it, versus if I go on my phone and I look through, I don't know, like, my saved posts, I'm just gonna get distracted again and just look at other things, because I get too distracted too much, versus, like, if I read a book, it's not that hard for me to focus. Well, look, I'm not gonna say, like, it was easy for me at first. Of course, I got the problem of, like, reading the same page over and over again, and I zone out. Pace yourself, all right? I wish I would have told myself, because, for me, it was always, like, read at least one chapter, which I should have changed that to just, like, read at least, like, 10 pages a day. Like, I don't know why I was such in a rush, or, like, I feel like I'm slow because I'm not reading fast enough. If I'm reading slow, at least that means I'm understanding what I'm reading. Social media, you could be scrolling, but are we scrolling to learn more knowledge, or, like, something that's useful and important? Or are we only scrolling because it's for a distraction? Because for the most part, we're all scrolling on the internet for a distraction, and we do that for 3 to 4 hours. I'd rather use that time to read a book than scroll for 3 or 4 hours. Like, I'm not gonna say that everyone should read a book, because I understand, like, it's not for everyone. I personally learn more from a book than I do from social media. Like, on social media, you kind of learn about every, like, random thing. I just want to learn one thing. I just want to focus on whatever thing that I just want to learn. So then, that's why books are kind of important, because it's just like, and also, sometimes books don't have to be just all words. Like, sometimes How to Be Perfectly Unhappy. This one is just like, it looks like a kid's book, kind of, but it's very, like, it's very for, like, adults. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it's kind of dark, but it's just, man, you just gotta read it, all right? You just gotta read it. It's, it's simple. Look how thin this is. It's very thin. You could finish this in a day. Like, it's not that hard. First, you got all my, like, I want to think about life and stuff books, right? And then I have all my comic books here, and all my, like, manga stuff. And then I got this giant-ass, like, Power Ranger book. Bro, look how thick this is. You know how long this took me to read? But it was sick, bro. Oh, my. I don't watch a lot of basketball, but, of course, I know Kobe Bryant. But I've always been more curious about the whole Mamba mentality, so then I bought the book. And that's how it is. Just like, I have a question about something, go find it in a book. And I understand, like, sometimes when you look up something, we don't know if it's going to be a good book or it's going to be a bad book. Sometimes a book may not find your, like, when I read this one, the Marcus Aurelius meditation thing, this was very boring. It was a very boring book. I couldn't really, like, understand it. Another boring book, not a boring book, but I'm just saying, like, it didn't get me. Like, it wasn't like this one, The Prophet. I know it's a great book, but at the same time, it's like, it just didn't hit. Sometimes books don't hit, okay? But it doesn't mean there isn't a book out there for you. For example, The Alchemist. I highly recommend The Alchemist. It's a great book. It's just finding your purpose and finding just your, damn it, what's the thing? It's your, damn it, there's a thing, but you're finding your own way of living, kind of. I forgot what it is. It's just like, I think people just recommend reading a book just because you're off your phone and it's less distracting, and at least you're only focused on one task. And that's why people always say, read a book. But for me, if you want to read a book. But if you don't hate on other people who read a book. And also, book readers don't hate on people who, who do like the doom scroll. Like, if it's not for you, it's not for you. Don't preach it to me. I won't preach it to you. But look, would I recommend books? Yeah. Okay. If I'm going to recommend a book, all right. The Alchemist. Read it. You should also read, actually, Mama Mentality is also pretty cool. Because the Mama Mentality is just being a better you every single day. So it can apply to like anything. Another book I would recommend would be, Be Water, My Friend. I'd recommend Steal Like an Artist. This one's cool, especially like if you're trying to like get more creative, or if you're trying to like be a YouTuber. You should read this one. And then there's also, I already told you about this one, How to Be Perfectly Unhappy. That one's kind of cool. And then there's also, I have a bunch, but it's just like, ooh, The Marathon. The Marathon, this one's a good book too. I really like this one. It's just more inside of like Nipsey Hussle's like backstory, and just like his mentality also of just like, bro, the marathon don't stop, man. That's just life. And it's just crazy. Things just hit you different when you get older. But for the most part, this is just me saying books are cool. But books aren't as bad as I remembered. It's just, as a kid, I just hated it, and I just rather just watch TV at the time. It's just one of those, eventually you kind of grow into it. But I'm just speaking my mind. That's just what I do. And hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And like I said before, doesn't matter if it's 2 views, doesn't matter if it's 10 views. I appreciate anyone who watches/listens. And I'll see you tomorrow with a new topic.